Hi everyone, this is Sharon from sharonsscrappyspace. Today we're going to be learning this technique on how to use the glossy cardstock from Stampin' Up inks, and creating this beautiful sunset. So let's get started. Pat my stamp again with the StazOn ink. Now when you're doing this type of technique, you really do want to use StazOn ink. And I'm going to press down, come straight up, and that's looking pretty good. I'm going to line it up to where I want it this time. I think I like it just about right there. So I'm going to lay down my Stamp-A-Majig. I'm going to remove this. Now I don't have to stamp up the whole thing this time because I'm just going to do a little corner right here. Alright. Next what I want to do is create a mask. Alright. And we're just going to lay this over the top like this. And using a pencil, because it's important to use a pencil, because a pen, once you start putting that ink on, it's actually going to bleed. So you don't want that to happen. So now that I've got my line, what I'm going to do is just cut along it like this. And this is going to create the mask that I need for my different colors. Alright. Now another thing that I'm going to do, because I don't want that pencil bleeding either, is I'm going to erase it. Alright. So you can see I've got the top mask here and the bottom mask. Now I'm going to also erase this. So we've got our mask here. Okay. I'm going to use some just Scotch tape, just like this, and I want to hold this mask down like that. Okay. So I've got some different colors here. I've got some Daffodil Delight that I'm going to use here on top. The More Mustard. And there's its sponge. The Cherry Cobbler. And the Cajun Craze. I'm going to swap these two out because I like to go from light to dark. So, and that's the way I usually do it. Okay. So next we're going to take a Post-it note. And we're going to make sure and get some of that sticky side of the Post-it note. Now I use just a 1.5 inch circle. You can use any size circle that you really want. And I'm going to decide where I want my sun. So I'm going to start in my brightest color and start working around the sun. Now, one of the things I like about this glossy cardstock is you can smear it really well and get some really great effects. I want it to be really bright around my sun, so I'm going to lay it on pretty thick here. And you see that StazOn ink, it's not smearing at all because, well, it stays on just like the name says. Now I'm going to go ahead and go on out. Not as dark, but I want some of that to come through. Alright. Now if you use just a regular Whisper White to do this, and you can, You just might have to do, you probably have to do a little bit more pouncing than what I'm doing. I'm doing a lot of smearing here. So, alright, so we're going to move to the more mustard. And you can see I've labeled all my sponges with the color chipboard and also the name. And that way I don't get my sponges mixed up. Now I'm just going to start working this more mustard in. Just kind of giving a effect around that sun. I want the Daffodil Delight to be the strongest color around it. And we'll just keep going out with it. It's just a layering effect, really. And, you know, you may look at this and say, there's no way I could do that. But you can. I didn't know if I could do it, and I just gave it a shot and was like, okay, well, that's not too bad. So, just give it a shot. You know, you might not do it perfectly at first, but you just keep practicing, and just like with anything else, you get better at it. Okay. Next I'm going to go with the Cajun Craze. And just like with the more mustard, I'm going to just start kind of working out, further out, and just kind of blend it. And just going to and it doesn't have to be just perfect or anything. And that's what makes it handmade. So we all have our own special touch that we put on these projects. I've given a couple of these cards away, and people just love them. I've actually had people frame them, and that's such an honor for me to know that my work is appreciated like that. So just gonna add a little bit more, because over here it's gonna, you know, it's a little bit further from the sun, so I can go a little bit darker. I mean, isn't that beautiful? I love the way the colors are coming together. Okay, so now we're going to add a little bit of red along the very outside. And this is the Cherry Cobbler. I love this color. I've used this pad more times than I thought I would. I'm going to do a little pouncing out here. I'm going to smear a little bit too. It just takes a little practice. Okay. Starting to come together like I like. Alright. So, we're going to pull off our mask. Isn't that awesome?